In this lecture, we are going to learn about a nicer and shorter way of creating properties for a class and initializing them using the constructor. So for this employee class, we have 5 properties. 2 of these properties are private properties and 3 are public properties. So what we are doing is we are creating these properties and then we are initializing these properties using this constructor. Now we have a shorthand notation using which we can create a property and initialize it without explicitly doing it. Let me show you what I mean by that. So what we want is we want to have an employee name property in this employee class, and that employee name property should be assigned with the value which we are going to receive for the first parameter of this constructor. For that, what we can do is here we are calling it employee name. Now I can simply remove this property. Okay. And since we have removed this property, there is no employee name property which we can access on this keyword. So we can also remove this. And all we need to do is, so if I scroll down now, you will see that we will have an error wherever we are using the name property. So we are not using the name property anywhere, but let's say I want to log employee dot emp name. Now we don't have emp name on this employee object because this employee object is created using this employee class, and in that class we don't have any emp name property anymore. So we will have this error. Now what we can do is when we are specifying the parameter for this constructor, there we can specify a name with which we want to create a property in our class. So we want to have an employee name property in our class. So I can create a parameter here which I can call emp name. Okay, so this emp name is currently a parameter. But before this, if I use an access modifier, so this emp name should be a public property. So here I am going to use the public access modifier. In that case, what will happen is behind the scenes, a property called emp name will be created, which will be a public property. And it will be initialized with the value which we are going to receive for this emp name parameter. Again, behind the scenes, when we are specifying a access modifier before the parameter name, behind the scenes, a property called emp name will be created for this employee class, and that property will be assigned with the value which we are going to receive for this emp name parameter. And now if I scroll down, you will see that that error is also gone where we were trying to access the emp name, because now emp name is a property of this employee class, even though we are not seeing it because that will be created behind the scenes using this syntax. Okay, so that will be created behind the scenes and that will be visible outside of this class because that property is public property. So now we can remove this line. In the same way, what we can also do is here we can create a salary parameter. Okay, and before this salary parameter, if I use private keyword, in that case, behind the scenes, a property called salary will be created for this employee class. Now here we have the error because if I hover over this error, you will see that duplicate identifier salary. It says that there is already a property called salary and we do have it here. That's why we have this error. So we are going to remove this line because anyway, when we are creating this parameter salary and when we have decorated it with this private keyword, behind the scenes, it is going to create a salary property, which will be a private property. So we can remove this line as well. In the same way, we want to have a base location property. So again, I am going to create a parameter called base location, and that base location should be a public property. So before this, I'll use public keyword, and this will create a base location property for the employee class behind the scenes. So I can remove this also from here. Okay, let's do the same thing for is eligible. So is eligible is also a public property and the name is same here, so I'm not going to change it. Here we'll simply use the public access modifier, and then we want to have a property called hike percent. So let me copy this name and let's call this last parameter as hike percent. And this should be a private property, so I'm going to use private keyword in front of it. So behind the scenes, these properties will be created an employee name property will be created for this employee class. The salary property will be created for this employee class. The base location property will be created for the employee class. This is eligible, and hike percentage property will be created for the employee class. So now we don't need to explicitly create those properties. We can remove these properties from here. And also, we don't need to explicitly assign those properties with the parameter values. We can remove these assignments as well. Okay, so now behind the scenes for this employee class, an employee property will be created which will be assigned with the value which we will receive for the employee parameter. We don't have to do that assignment explicitly. Same thing is true for salary. So behind the scenes, a private property called salary will be created, which will be assigned with the value which we are going to receive for the salary parameter. And same is true for other parameters as well, which we have defined in this constructor parameter list. So in this way, first, we are not creating any property explicitly. And second, we are not doing the assignment explicitly. So this is the shorthand notation for what we did earlier. And this code should still be working. So let me go ahead and let me save the changes. So for this get salary, for some reason, it is logging undefined. Let's see why is that. That's because from here, we are not returning anything. We need to return the value. Same thing we need to do here. Okay, now let's save the changes. So now we have the proper result, and the employee name is also logged here. So this is the shorthand property initialization syntax. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.